So students will get a couple things. First of all, a practical guide actually how to do better in their classes, how to actually get higher grades. And while that's a wonderful consequence of what we're doing, Mike and I really don't care about an individual's GPA because we don't think it's that important really. But by getting the higher they get the higher GPA by doing something differently, and that is to really learn something at a deeper level. So they get more out of their education, they get more out of their learning, and all of a sudden there's value in not just learning facts that they will just quickly forget, but they'll actually get something out of it. We teach students how they can actually get this experience out of their classes even if the teacher hasn't embraced it. So that's what students are going to get out of it. Higher GPAs, but also a richer educational experience. So teachers, quite often, we just tend to focus on the curriculum because that is so daunting and so important and so significant. But as a result, the actual thinking processes that every single discipline offers, the creative ventures into that realm, are often left in kind of the negative space, and we hope that the students kind of figure it out as we lead by example. But making it explicit, putting it up front, and infusing your class, not saying to get rid of the content, not saying to change your curriculum or your syllabus, but to inject and infuse the way that that teacher thinks, the way that that teacher parses and looks at the world, and consciously and consistently shows that thinking process and maybe even ideally assesses the thinking process will allow for a richer educational experience that will last with the students long after they've forgotten the facts. So parents who care about education for their children have the ability to get out of this book the lessons that they can apply at home, whether it's working with their children on their homework or even over dinner just having discussions about school, or what I find the most exciting, having discussions about interesting things, whether it's on a vacation, whether it's in an art museum, engaging their children in the habits of thinking that we're proposing. Remember, it really is a habit. Not hard to understand what we ask to do, very hard to make a habit. And parents can really help make and infuse these elements into a child's life. Well, really, every single professional, whether it's a business person or a technology person or a finance person or a lawyer or a doctor, to have professionals be given this book, so to have a team of people receive this book, it will just increase productivity. It will increase the productivity of ideas, of innovation. It will drive the business or the company or the profession into even greater success because it's an invitation for individuals to think more effectively, more strongly, and more creatively. And that's where innovation comes from. So if everyone on your team were to have this book and were to read this book and were to embrace the habits of this book, what you see through understanding and failing and seeing the flow of ideas and asking the right questions, all of a sudden you're going to see that the team collectively is going to be producing at a much, much higher level in terms of quality and also just a level in terms of productivity. So it's a very, very exciting opportunity for businesses and professions to actually see this is a way to actually improve, not just at the individual level, but at the business level. This is so exciting because, again, it comes back to the fact that most people believe that when their formal education is over, their education is over. And you and I and lifelong learners around the world know that's just not true. But it's hard to be continuing your education when you don't have the faculty, the buildings, the dining halls, the dormitories, the curriculum, the books right there at your disposal, the discussions, the seminars. And so this book tries to actually engage an individual to be their own Socrates, to ask their own questions, and through the inside, through themselves, within themselves, they begin to actually teach themselves. And that is maybe the greatest gift that an individual can give to him or herself. It's the gift that I can actually teach myself something. And this book offers the promise of engaging people in that joyful pursuit.